Alright, thank you very much. Hello everybody, it's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm back in action with another look at another batch of movies that is coming to the theaters near you this weekend. You know, when it comes to the movies, there are several ways to describe them, and we have our list of, rom-coms, horror genre, remakes, reboots, sequels, prequels, and all that other stuff. This batch fits into a very special category, and I cannot think of one word to use to describe that category offhand. However, I think of it as if you missed this movie, then you can watch this movie. If there's any one thing I'm becoming annoyed with, it's the idea of people saying that this movie is a love letter to the movies of the past. In other words, it's not a reboot or a remake, but it's taking the same concept. It's like if you watch the movie Dear Dirty Harry, and then you see Steve McQueen's Bullet, and they say that Bullet is supposed to be a love letter to Dirty Harry. It's that kind of thing. I don't like it. All right, I think it's annoying, and it doesn't really fit fully what I was gonna. The way I had this list set up. Think of this list as if you missed this movie, well then you can catch this movie. So if you missed Guilt Trip with Barbra Streisand and Seth Rogen, then you can see Tammy. Tammy is starring Melissa McCarthy, written by Melissa McCarthy, along with her husband, who is also directing it. That scares me. Okay, this is another one of those road trip styles movie. Melissa McCarthy's character, Tammy, lost her job, realizes her husband's been cheating on her, so she decides to go for a road trip with a grandmother that has money and stuff like that. It's supposed to be a comedy of errors. Hilarity ensues. Heartfelt connections between opposites is felt. And, love will be found and banks will be robbed and stuff like that. So it's going to be a crazy time, outrageous time. If you're a fan of Melissa McCarthy, you probably are going to see it. But I'm not going to recommend this movie, because I've seen these movies go south way too easy. When the star is the writer and her husband is the director, first time director mind you, that just sends up the red flag that it's just not going to, mesh. We've seen these movies before from like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis, who've done The Last Action Hero, and Bruce Willis did Hudson Hawk respectively. These are ego movies. It's I'm a star and I can make whatever movie I want now. And I always look forward to these movies and I always get disappointed. So that's why Tammy is going to get a decide. I want to know more about it before I go see it. I'm going to want to know more about it before I recommend it. Alright, if you have not seen E.T. yet, if you have not seen The Explorers yet, if you haven't seen Flight of the Navigator yet, shame on you. These are really good movies, okay? I really enjoyed all those movies. Then you can catch up by watching Earth to Echo, coming out this Friday. Oh gosh. You want to make your own movie. Good. But now you want to pen a love letter to all those children movies of the 80s. You even have a character named Munch in this movie. Nod to Goonies. I get it. I really wish you would just make your own movie. Not worried about penning a love letter to anyone else. Just make your own movie. You just want to make an alien movie. Fine. Make the alien movie. But don't try to, compare it so much to all those other movies. Yes, you have E.T. You got the cute little alien. You have the concept from Explorers. They have a signal, an encrypted signal that only the kids could somehow only be the ones to decrypt and apparently get. All the other people like SETI and NASA and NASA and the NSA, people who actually monitor everything that's happening, don't catch this yet. And apparently they need him help, and I bet they want him to go home. He wants to go home. He's a cute little guy. He's harmless. Boy, does this movie irk me. Maybe it's because, when we made movies like this, we just made movies like this. We didn't have to worry about referencing all those past movies. Ultimately, this is another one I cannot decide on. I mean, it's going to be cutesy poo, and I guess that's what irks me about this. They're trying to make it too cutesy. Our movies back then were not cutesy. We had our cute moments, but you know what? They were pretty good, and they were pretty, down to earth and pretty out there. They had the crazy get-ups and the kids being all scientific and everything, and sometimes being wrong and just being goofy and funny. Because they're just trying to repeat those movies. I guess that's why I can really call them repeats. Repeaters. You heard it here first, folks. They're repeaters. They're not reboots or remakes, but they're repeats. So now you know what to call them. And and that's the only reason why I get irked by this movie. Is it going to be good? Probably. Am I going to see it? If you want me to. But for the most part, I'll give this movie a decide too. Can't really go with repeaters. Worse than remakes and reboots and prequels and sequels, repeats are just, someone trying to copy another formula and hoping they get away with it because they got a love letter or something. Alright, next up, if you have not seen The Exorcist yet, believe it or not, I haven't. I'll wait till October to see it because this is the kind of movie you see in October. This is, and don't get me wrong, I understand these kind of movies can succeed in July because it's been a long time. Normally, it hasn't been a long time since, Paranormal Activity 5, the March one. Oh no, it's just Paranormal Activity, the March one. And I think something else came up before that. So not enough time has passed and it's not really the season for horror, but that's what Deliver Us from Evil hopes to do. Bring out the horror and give us a chance to, be afraid by bringing out those good old-fashioned exorcist and possession style things where you got the body of an innocent person, the spirit of a bad person, and you want to try to free them without harming them. And Eric Bana is in it with Edgar Ramirez, so of course it's going to be one of the things that's also inspired by true accounts. Are we not tired of that yet? People saying inspired by actual events, meaning it's complete bullcrap, but because it's inspired by actual events, you should see it because, it's true of it. It'd be like them making a action-adventure flick based off my life. But hey, because it's inspired by an actual person, we should be impressed. Yeah, it's not gonna fly. Not here. Eric Bana has not done much right since Hulk. A lot of people didn't like Hulk, but I actually did. And John Woo, I like him. I knew what they were good doing. I connected with it. When it comes to this movie, though, I don't know. And the worst part is, I'm afraid it's gonna be found footage. And you guys know me. I don't like found footage, but it's probably not. I don't think it is. But either way, it doesn't matter. The point is, this is one I can say pass on. I don't know enough about it to really judge it, but ultimately, there's just nothing about this movie. There's nothing about this weekend that rubs me the right way, and that really makes me mad because a lot of this is July 2nd, which is not the weekend. It's 4th of July weekend, so they're all putting out their movies early, and I get upset because I want Michael Bay released Transformers a week too early. This is the time to release Transformers. This is 4th of July weekend. This kind of stuff just doesn't fly that weekend, Maybe it will. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Earth to Echo would be good if it just didn't look so cutesy poo. Because that's what's bothering me about it. I want something more, give it a little more grit, I guess is what I'm looking for. But that's just me. I hope whatever you decide will be good for you, will be fun for you, and you'll enjoy yourselves. We'll see you at the theaters. Take it easy.